This video serves the purpose of displaying the enhancements in ETC version 9.2. The first enhancement that we will look at is to the operations report. A new control was used to render the report. This gives us greater control over the layout of the report, allowing for easier corrections and more control over the layout. A few changes have been made to the report itself. The alignment of the header information on the report has been improved. In previous versions of ETC, if the operation contained more than one image, only the first image would display on the report. It would display twice. In this release, if there is more than one image, then the first two images will be displayed on the report. In the machines section, two enhancements have been made. The first is the machine's name and description are both displayed. Also, settings 1 and 2 have been combined into one block. This allows the other block to display the machine accessories that are being used. The report will display up to the first 5 accessories on the operation. In addition to the report itself, the report viewer has been improved. There's still the ability to zoom the report. The report can be zoomed to full page, page width, 100%, etc. You can also drag the slider instead of using the drop-down list. There's also the ability to export the report directly to both PDF, comma-separated values, Excel, rich text format, TIFF file, web archive, which is HTML, or an XPS document. There's also now the ability to print the report and choose to print only a portion instead of the whole report. You can now print just the first page, or just the second page, or all of the report. Another enhancement is when hovering over the operation on the Explorer and the tooltip pops up, the SAM will now display the SAM per unit as it does on the results on the right-hand side. When entering a code on an operation, ETC originally would update the description as the user entered the code, but once the description was entered, the system would not automatically override it. So when entering a code that contained more than one letter, when the first letter was typed, the description was changed to the default description for the code that was first selected. Then the user continued typing, the description would not change. Now the description does not update the first time until the user has selected the code and left that field. You can also see that on the left-hand side, ETC can now display the operation name, operation title, and the operation SAM, or any combination. We have configuration values that allow you to choose what is selected. If the user is using a system for the operation names that only contains a number, then the title can now be displayed as well. Due to the additional space required to display the additional information, a new feature has been added to allow the hiding of the panels for selecting the operation. The right-hand side also has the ability to be hidden. When you first go to the operations, styles, macros, or feature screen, the right-hand side is hidden. Once the details is selected, it's automatically shown. Once the information needed is obtained, the user can click to hide the Explorer. Another enhancement is in each of the Explorers, on the drop-down selection list and on the styles details and the styles report, the machine information is now displayed with both the name and the description of the machine. Another issue that has been mentioned is when selecting a machine, you cannot see the categories or the machine hierarchy. And currently we cannot offer that in that drop-down list, but on the Explorer on the right-hand side, you can see your categories and the hierarchy in which they are stored, and you can click and drag them into the machine box and save it, and it will update it that way as well. One last issue that has been addressed is on the style screen. When the details were edited or changed, the results were not being immediately updated. This has now been corrected in this latest release.